Today we're going to show you how to change the door handle on your Range, and it's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver. Let me show you how we do it. Now, to do this repair, it's easier if we remove the door from the Range. And to do that, we'll open it up, and you'll note that there are a couple of clips, one on either hinge. We just rotate that little hook forward till it catches on the upper portion of the hinge, and we can simply lift up on the door and pull it completely out of the oven cavity. We can now set the door on a suitable work surface, and we can do the repair. Now, with the door on a suitable work surface, we've placed it inside edge down. We're going to remove these 5 screws that go through the white painted metal. And all of these screws are the same size, so we don't have to worry about mixing them up. Now next, we'll just carefully lift up on the bottom edge of that outer door glass. Now the top of that outer door glass is hooked under these tabs on the top vent. So as we lift up on the bottom, we'll just pull it out from behind that and set the glass aside. And while we have that off, we'll take the opportunity to clean the inside of that glass. Next, we'll remove the screw that holds that bracket to the inner door panel. Now those are a machine type screw, so we don't want to mix those up with the 2 that held the bracket to the door. Next, we're just going to pull up on that vent, rotate it, and unhook it from the top of the door. Now we need to just take note of where this bracket mounts on this upper vent, and if you need to, just make a little line across there with a pencil. And then we'll remove these screws that secure the bracket and the handle itself. And we can discard the old handle. Now you will note that the replacement handle has a notch cut out on one edge, so we want to make sure that we have that position to face down. And as well, you'll note that there is no insert where the screw goes, but that machine screw will self-tap into that material. So we'll line it up with the opening. We'll position our bracket. We'll put the screw through that hole first. Just hold it in place with the screwdriver. And we can hold that handle up against the top vent until the screw gets started. And just snug it up for now until we get both ends of the handle attached. Now once we have screws in both ends of the handle, we'll want to make sure that we line that bracket up in its original position and then tighten it there. And now that we have the handle secured to the top vent, we'll reassemble the vent to the door. Now when reinstalling that top vent and handle assembly, we're going to make sure that we hook that lip of the vent over the inside of the inner door panel. Make sure the outside edges of the vent go outside, and then roll it down into position. And then just manually hold it in place, make sure that the gap on the side is tight, and check to see if the screw holes line up. If they don't, we'll need to tilt it back out, loosen that screw, and move the bracket in either position to make sure that it lines up properly. Reinstall the screw. Tighten it securely. Do the same for the opposite side, and then we can reinstall the outer door glass. Make sure that we engage the top edge of that glass underneath the tabs on both sides, then lower the glass down into position. And then we can replace the 5 screws across the bottom. Now once we have all 5 of those screws tightened securely, we can reinstall the door on the Range. And when reinstalling the door, we're going to line up the hinges on both sides. And make sure they're fully inserted into the openings on either side of that oven cavity. And fold down the little catches. Check the operation of the door. And our repair is complete.